Welcome back to Studio 5. Today we kick off a week-long series in line with our October theme, Step in My Shoes. We are signing up for a little sensitivity training each day, trying to gain perspective on a challenging life situation that we could respond better to from the outside.
So today's topic, weight woes. How can you better react and respond or support a family or member who struggles with the scale? Helping us walk through those shoes, a familiar face, Heather Hansen. She's a wife and mother of two beautiful girls from West Bountiful. She competed in season 3 of NBC's weight loss reality show, The Biggest Loser. She looks phenomenal, doesn't she? She lost 59 pounds from show start to finish and has been open about her weight loss struggle and success. And also relationship coach Matt Townsend also coming to the table with his insight on this sometimes awkwardly handled situation.
Good to have you both. It's good to see you, Heather.
Why do I feel a need to suck in my gut?
Because we were so fabulous. Hey, I was thinking, we interviewed you, I mean, season 3 of The Biggest Loser, that was how many years ago?
That was like almost 5.
5 years ago. Yeah. And I started thinking back to that time. Biggest Loser really opened some huge doors, I think, for people to talk about weight loss and accept it. And you, as kind of our Utah rep, you really have opened some huge doors for people. I imagine people still to this day come up to you and talk to you and want to connect with you.
They do. And it's great. It was a great experience, and it really helped me a lot in life.
You encounter a lot of experiences, I'm sure, just through daily things, going about things. What have you encountered from people's awkwardness and how to deal with someone with weight issues?
You know, I think it makes people uncomfortable.
Totally.
I think it just makes people feel really uncomfortable. In fact, I was talking with Matt and I was thinking back about when I was at my heaviest weight, I ran out of gas. And so there I am, and I'm on the side of the road, and I'm out of gas.
Did you stick out your leg?
I'm like, hey, I'm chubby but nice. And you know what, you guys?
No one's pulling over.
Nobody pulled over. I mean, nobody. I must have been out there for 45 minutes thinking, come on, can I catch a break? Now, I hate to say that I run out of gas a lot, but I do. And I also ran out of gas after being on the show, after I had lost the weight. And you know what? I got over, turned on my hazards, stood outside, and within 1 minute was somebody pulled over.
See, you know what that is, though? It's your hotness.
It's my, thank you, Matt. I really like him.
No, you know what I think probably that is when somebody is different, we tend to focus on the difference. We don't focus on where they shine. So one of the first rules of dealing with anybody that has any difference is we focus on where they're healthy and good, not on the dark, ugly, evil side. We get obsessed with. So when you're driving by, they don't have enough time to make decisions. They just focus on the obvious.
Right.
But then you were just shining. Then they said, I got to stop and talk to that shiny girl.
So what's the takeaway, though, for us, kind of from the outside, learning from that example?
When you're sitting there, everyone's got a difference, right? So as you're talking to anyone with, I mean, there's obvious physical differences. There's people with impairments. There's all these things. But there's still a human inside. So we don't have to focus on the extreme. We can try to start to see that people are whole. And inside of that wholeness is goodness in a variety of ways. I mean, inside of somebody that's a little overweight on the side of the road, there is incredible goodness and humor and funny. And so I think it's just too easy for us all to just kind of put a label on someone and put them where we need them. And the reality is that doesn't break down these barriers.
So we focus on where they shine. We were talking over the weekend, Heather, in preparation for this interview, and you told me a story that I have not been able to shake. I thought about it all weekend, about a time when you were at a more heavy point in your life and you were at McDonald's. Take us through that.
You know, I think this was the one time that really made me feel like I've got to change something. I was at McDonald's and my little one had crawled up into the little Toyland place.
Oh, no.
And she had crawled up, and as I was watching her, I'm thinking, oh, please don't get stuck. Like, she was so little that it was fun to climb up, but then all of a sudden, she wanted out, and she wanted down. And it was full. It was like a ton of moms were there with their kids, and I'm standing there. You know, I'm at this point, you know, I'm wearing size 22 pants. I'm really big, and she's up there crying. And I was so mortified because nobody like jumped in to say, oh, you know, I'm skinny, I'll just beam on up there and help and get her. Everyone just stood and waited, and I knew I had to go up there. And it was horrific.
No one jumped in.
Nobody jumped in. Everyone stood there, and I seriously had to kind of wedge myself up to get her.
Man.
And as I'm getting her, I am crying because I am so like, oh, I just want to die right now.
Meanwhile, everyone else is watching.
That's what kills me.
Watch how extreme that is. But see, to me, that's the point of this. Remember, there's many forms of healthy, right? So when we see someone that's overweight, we say, oh, there's obviously someone that's not healthy. But that exposed how socially unhealthy a bunch of those people in that room were, that were sitting there watching her. Some were probably laughing.
I'm sure.
Some were maybe pulling out a camera, and some just didn't know what they could do. But what it did is it exposed everyone's kind of challenge, that everyone's a little challenged. Some are socially challenged, some are emotionally challenged and don't even feel what Heather's going through. I mean, anyone with an emotional sense of empathy would understand that's not easy for a mom to climb up there.
Right.
So that's someone that's emotionally challenged that wouldn't go send, I mean, I'd send my son up there. Hey, run up and go get that little girl and help bring her down.
Does it then accentuate the fact when I say, oh, look, you clearly can't get up there because you're overweight. Why don't you let me, a skinny guy, crawl up there and do it?
They're afraid to do that, probably.
I would worry, though, that would offend you by saying you can't do it. Why can't I do it for you?
I would have loved to have a skinny guy, a skinny child.
Yeah.
I would have loved to have anybody help me and kind of rescue me out of that situation, just because it was so mortifying.
Think how important that conversation is. We're having this conversation. I mean, people don't know what to do, so we don't do anything, which is worse than embarrassing ourselves and saying, do you want me to go up there and get your child? And you would have said, yes.
Please,
So we don't even, so notice it just kind of, it paralyzes everyone. It paralyzes, because none of us know how to treat someone that's different. But shouldn't we really just treat them like everyone else?
Yeah, yeah, and I always think, too, reverse the situation, which maybe in the moment when you're trying to figure out what to do, but like you said, you would have much rather had someone just jump in, help, do what they can do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
A mother's crying, I mean, what mother has to climb into one of those things anyway, really?
Right.
Let alone if you're battling weight. That's tough.
Yeah.
Okay, another scenario. Do you have any other experiences? Picking your brain on this.
You know, I think sometimes people, because they're uncomfortable, and we talked a little bit about this, Matt, I think they want to say something about some other part of you, like, oh, you're the greatest mom. Like, you're amazing.
Yeah.
You're so
Look over here.
Like you may be chubby, and don't worry about that, because you're the most amazing mom. And I'm like, well, I don't even know how to cook. I'm not that amazing, you know. But I think sometimes they want to pick something and really over accentuate and say you're so great at that, and you know that they're just trying to compensate, and they're changing the subject. Or there's the ones that just, you know, like straight on, wow, we got to do something about this. What do you want to do?
Well, part of that's the distraction. That's the distraction. Like, you need to, they'll come straight in and tell you what you need to do. When you're dealing with another human, usually they don't need your advice. Until they're asking for it,
when
you don't need
in the mirror,
that's right.
you know.
See, that's again, the obvious. So here, I'm going to fix that for you. But tell them the story about going to the store.
Oh, I hated grocery shopping. I really tried to pick a time when nobody was there, because as I'm there, I feel like, well, everyone's kind of looking in my cart, and I feel like they're thinking, well, no wonder,
like
no wonder.
Why you got that box of Twinkies?
Yeah, like no wonder she's chubby.
Right.
And this is the thing, when I think back, that really was the most really painful, is I really wanted somebody to look at me. I wanted so desperately someone to make eye contact and just give me like a little smile. And I would look down and I would push my cart and feel uncomfortable, and every once in a while I would look up and I would catch someone's eye, and right away it was just kind of uncomfortable and they would look away, but it was weird. It was like I just yearned for someone to give me a smile.
Just that connection, that eye-to-eye connection.
Hey, you're okay.
Yeah.
That's the human need, to be validated that I exist, that I'm real, that I'm here. So the rule in any relationship is look them in the eye. If you would just look someone in the eye, you automatically validate them. You say, I see you. You're real to me. You're real to me. I don't need to look at your body and your cart and try to avoid eye contact. I need to look in your eyes. That's the human touch. Every human needs to be seen as real, as whole, as valid. And see, Heather experienced it that way. There's others that, I mean, think of it. We don't look at I mean, how many people do you even look anymore in their eye? But that is accentuated, I think, by our differences.
Well, that's just it. You wore your challenge. I mean, people could see it, but like you said,
outside.
Everyone's dealing in their own way with something.
I see it all day with my clients and couples. Everyone's got a challenge. And then someone comes in so upset that their wife's gaining weight. I mean, I know people that have divorced over weight gain. And I sit there and I think, are you serious? Are you not noticing how messed up you are to make weight gain the difference?
Yep.
When she's beautiful, talented, fabulous, smart, hardworking, great mother, loving, spiritual, clean, all these things, and you're going to get rid of her because of her weight.
Yeah.
Seriously. By the way, and he had gained weight.
Oh.
So that tells us how challenged we are. We can see everyone else's problems. So
Good stuff, you guys.
Great
Good stuff.
stuff.
Thanks.
Of course, the sensitivity training continues this entire week. Thanks so much for kicking it off, you guys.
Yeah, you bet.
Coming